go to the hospital and not pay fees. I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And with freshwater's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can. You took off the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Friendship with the wine and cheese, koalas, true with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no war. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo bears, a Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron.
Say, haha, I'm here because you fuckers missed me.
Hello, Red. Hello, folks. I'm just letting you know that, yes, there is a mystery box because I've decided I'm lazy and I don't feel like turning on my camera. Good job.
Okay.
On that note...
You know what?
Oh, go ahead.
We used to have the random unknown box known as Box, and now you have the mystery box. Does that mean you're related to Box?
I doubt it. But you never know. I mean, half my family is technically, well, I mean, not really, no. They're from Scotland. I don't think Box is from, even remotely from Scotland, so, But you never know. It's not like those guys didn't raid each other all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, Scotland, the ones that weren't Scottish enough for them, they went over to Britain, so you never know.
Right? So, anyway, yeah.
Hey, Red?
Hi, Red. How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't want to start off right away into the Roe and Wade shit, you know? Because, like, I think everyone's kind of been talking about it. We can absolutely go into it. I just, 2 seconds of Justin Trudeau, I'm like, bleh. My body, my choice, my ass. My body, my choice, what is convenient for you. And then you change the bar.
Well, maybe I should just look and be like, my country, my choice, motherfucker, it ain't you. It ain't you. The astounding fucking bullshit of Canada to think that anybody gives a flying what we think about SCOTUS.
Well, that's just it, like he is part of the generation of entitled, and that's not his age group. I'm saying he's just from the special generation of entitled, and I think it's stretching out a lot longer than just like, the end of the boomers. I think that's been going for a long time, and we've been passing it down to our children for at least the last 3 generations, maybe 4. We're going into 4.
We need to cut that shit out. We really do, because the idea, again, that anybody gives a shit what Canada thinks about what SCOTUS does. The fact that we actually think the Americans give a shit that you would do PR for this. Honestly. like, I'm sure everybody's just quaking in the boots. Oh shit, Trudeau's looking at us like we got asses on our heads. Oh God, not Canada. Don't charge us more for our ketchup now there, bud. Like, you really think Americans give a damn? And the fact that he thinks Canada must chime in, and that Canadians should give a shit what SCOTUS does. Now, I'm particularly happy about it, but again, you're the Canadian Prime Minister, okay? You really think a majority of Canadians give a shit what America is doing with SCOTUS right now?
No, we're more concerned about what he's doing. with our country because he's dragging us downhill very, very fast. I mean, I was always willing to take a little bit of a joke for Canada, you know, because we are pretty cool as it is, but you know, there are some things where honestly America does it better. Sometimes Britain does it better. You know, so I don't mind taking that criticism because that's just a sign, well, hey, we could do better. But we've gone so far downhill from there, and they use our feelings to do it, folks. Don't live with your feelings. They've made me into a cold-hearted bitch because I no longer want to live with my feelings. Fact lives matter.
Yeah, well, Black Lives Matter so
I
much.
said
I
fact.
like to-
I said fact.
Oh, I was
Mhm.
gonna say, because there's another one. Hey Trudeau, you don't like black people? You don't like black people? You think they should have been killed? All those black babies? You want all those black babies to be killed in the womb before they're even born because you're so racist? Like, Jesus Christ. You know what I care about? Canadian shit. So there's only one thing in that entire speech that I actually care about. When he does we're going to give you financial incentives to come up here and get your abortions up here. And I'm thinking, motherfucker better not be on our socialized healthcare. They better be having to bring their American fucking dollars and paying for it. Because our healthcare system's kind of collapsing right now. So we really need your American dollars. Please donate to the Canadian Healthcare Fund by killing your babies up in Canadian land.
Because that's the last thing he needs when his voter base is kind of dying out. Between them all going gay or abortions, and I hate to break it to him, but Muslims will vote for you if they know they can get power within politics. But they will sway if they know they can still get power with the other guys. Which here's the thing. The conservatives are probably willing to make deals with the Muslims. Just saying.
Yeah, and if they are, I'm out. I'm like, no. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No. Because that means they would be selling us out, which they do that anyways, I guess. So I probably should just put up with it.
It's not really just that. Like, you gotta also take into account that it's not about sucking up. It's about respect between two groups of people. So the other people who are also being screwed over right now are kind of the Muslims. I hate to break it to you, but, you know, gas, food, it's gonna hit them too. Not just us, it's gonna hit them too. And they're a little bit more impoverished than we are. So the guys who are here are like, oh shit, we voted for the wrong guy. And we're like, yeah, you did. You sold out.
Yeah, and I'm sure Muslims just love killing their babies.
No, they certainly don't. That's why I can't not hold out the kind hand, BG. Like, I know that you have your reasons and everybody does, and you should. Don't trust anybody. But the Christian hand means something. So don't be afraid to use it to your benefit.
I don't mind you using the Christian hand when it's relevant.
It is.
But the fact of the matter is I don't need to place arguments at the feet of people. I don't need any Christianity for that. I really don't.
No, it's kind of the right time too.
Yeah, but the thing is that I know that, you know, while I can identify with Muslim strife and whatnot, I know that the religions do not meet anywhere.
Don't make it about religion, because that's the problem. Is like, it's like with the problem with the marriage. It's like with the problem with the abortion. Don't make it about the politics. Make it about the fact that what's going on right now is actually attacking all our fundamental principles. Not just ours, it's attacking theirs. It's going to affect everybody down the line. You know, they really are trying to push this shit everywhere. It's showing kindness where it's due is going to show people who to kind of look for, because I think a lot of people are feeling a little bit lost, especially if you're in Canada. Like, if you're in Canada, you're probably looking anywhere for the leader who's just not lying to you.
I'm also looking for the leader that's just not being kind anymore. I don't want the kind hand anymore. We got enough of that shit. We got enough of the tolerate everything kind
Kind
hand.
doesn't mean being a pushover. That's the problem. Like, Mr. Trudeau is like, I'm kind to everybody, but he's not, because he's a coward.
Correct.
He doesn't even really stand behind the shit that he preaches, because it would be more noticeable. I would even give him credit if he did. I wouldn't agree with him, but I would give him the credit.
I would prefer the Ron DeSantis route.
Yeah. But he's not going at it to be cruel. He's just being real.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's
okay.
kind. Don't underestimate what I mean by kindness. Kindness is sometimes being like, yeah, you have to be the nurse who's telling you to your face that you got to do the shit you got to do. You know?
Yeah, I'm tired of the niceties. I want someone that stands there and says, look, you don't respect our culture, we're not going to respect yours. You don't respect our values, well then we're not going to respect yours. If you're going to stand there and scream and shout and make everybody bow to your emotions, then I'm not going to give you the theater time to do it. You know, there was one time when Jordan Peterson was on stage, and he was like, the amount of time and effort and work that went into setting up one of these events with a platform, and you come in screaming about as if you're entitled to that.
You got a donation.
Lucky Charms donation.
Oh, shit.
I once shoved something in kind up my rectum and it was a mistake. Never use a cat's use as a sex toy. Prickly and rough.
But yeah, that is narcissism at its peak. I gotta open up the Streamlabs thing because Box gave me this Streamlabs thing that's not the Streamlabs doing the echo reverb, but at the same time would help me do the thing. And I think I might have talked over it, so I'll just repeat. I once shoved something in up my rectum, and it was a mistake. Anything you shove up there would be a mistake, dude. It's exit only for a reason. Never use a circus as a sex toy. Pickly and rough. How could a cactus? I said circus. I meant cactus. Never use a cactus as a sex toy. Okay, I'm retarded today. Just in case anybody's wondering, I am just retarded. Now, if you look at a cactus and think, I have so many holes I could put that in, then you probably shouldn't be in amongst the public. There are rooms with straitjackets for you. Just so you know. Just so you don't hurt yourself. And others, you know. Because just, ew.
Is Big
But
Joe
also-
even here?
Big Joe?
No, I don't even think he's here. Oh, he must be here in spirit.
He's donating.
Yeah. He's not in chat, though.
Mm. Cryptic's helping him out.
I noticed that.
They're best buddies.
Yeah, I noticed that. I just like to rib him a little bit because I like to notice details. And I know that bothers him. That's what friends are for.
And now suddenly Cryptic is commenting and
We've got the biggest
Oh, you got another D.
Coat hanger
Oh.
donated $2 Canadian. Can you help a brother out? I
Help.
lost my job today.
I think you're good. You're a coat hanger.
Ew. Oh, God.
But also, why would you donate money if you lost your job? No offense.
What? Socks lost his job?
No. Somebody named Coat Hanger that tipped you $2 was like, can you help me out? I lost my job. I'm like, well, that's bad. I'm sorry for your bad luck. But donate.
Okay, good. I thought you said box. I was about to be all sad.
No. I think your sound is off, BG.
Ah,
Yeah.
ah.
Or you got cat ears that really need the Q-tipping.
My brain needs, like, Q-tipping so bad. There's just so much Q-tipping that must happen. Like,
Don't worry. I'm trying to make things as interesting for you in the next couple weeks as I can. The problem is getting my ideas out to people that are relevant is very, very difficult. So I keep trying to post everywhere that if you really wanted to get to Ottawa, what you do is you bring in the real food feeders, the ones that bring in the birds, like, you know, like.
yeah.
Shop_vac donated $2 Canadian. Hey coat hanger, go back to your original use. My
Shop
original
vac.
job sucks, but at least it's less bloody now.
What?
Yeah, I think Cryptic has decided to rename himself every kind of abortion clinic he can. But yeah, he's telling Coat Hanger to go back to his original use because, you know, blah blah blah. But you got another $2.
Stop ruining vacuum cleaners for me, dude.
I can't even remember what I was ranting about because of that, so that's why I'm like, fuck you. Love you though.
Oh, Cryptic, don't worry. I know you wouldn't dare to say all that, you know? You're so very cryptic, and you are always very civil
Cryptic.
and cryptic, and you would never pretend to be a coat hanger or a shop vac. Never. That's not something you would do.
I don't even hear any snort sniffles from Tracker, so I mean, I could blame you, Tracker, but you're not snort sniffling, so I'm blaming Cryptic.
Yeah, of course you are.
I'm not saying you're not up for options, because you are, but
Red feather. You don't. Maybe it is red feather.
that's true. It could be red. See how
Ah.
many forms of abortion Red knows of.
Uh,
Maybe not personally, but I mean, I'm sure you have friends who make jokes.
And I mean, there's several other avenues, abortion.
I mean, they
goes
haven't
down.
even started in on the list of drugs. Let's be real. Plants, lots of plants. There are lots of plants. There are lots of tea times too.
There are the jabs behind the baby's ears that they give them before they rip them apart. You forgot those.
Like,
You forgot the clamps. Don't forget the clamps.
I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying that, like, baby care has been a thing for a really long time. It was never really a question of, like, whether or not it was good. Sometimes women are evil. And sometimes it's for health. Sometimes it is for health.
I mean, I wonder what baby oil is made out of, you know? It's a mystery. It might be
Lucky
made
Charms
out of baby.
donation. Crush me into
Actually,
a powder
baby
and
oil
snort
is,
me baby.
Mineral oil and vitamin E.
Oh,
And what's really bad is I just put my man card at risk, showing that I know that.
Okay, day after pill. Come on now, it's morning after pill. Gee. See,
Yeah,
a
day
man
after pill's probably not gonna work out for you.
or
Or in the
plan
case
B.
of AOC, how many blowjobs or how many times she's bent over in the bathroom of that bar she worked at, it'd be aspirin for as often as she takes it.
Crush me into a powder and snort me, baby. Wow.
Okay then.
That's the day after pill. Except I don't think that's I don't think that's how you take those.
It's also, for as much control as these women are claiming that they want to have, I'm just like, what about all the control you had up to before you got pregnant? Like, I get that they're going, well, don't slut shame me. I'm like, I'm not. I get that, contraceptions don't always work, but sometimes the contraception that works the most is you just saying no. Like, like they have apps now that allow you to time it. I don't know how accurate they are, but with enough science, it could be right down to the science.
Honestly, I was actually telling Chucker this earlier. I blame. So remember when churches were like abstinence, 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 and people are like, you can't teach abstinence because they're not going to be able to do that with all the hormones. That is not realistic to not have sex. Okay, that is not realistic. So then they brought in the safe sex education for safe sex. And I was saying to Trucker, there's no such thing as safe sex. We essentially brought in one big lie that says, hey, want to have sex before you're 18? Go ahead. Safe sex moment. Yeah, just take the condoms. You'll be okay from there. And they're like, and teenage pregnancies were down because they used contraception. And it's like, okay, but the world bought into the safe sex thing where everybody's like, contraception, 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 when a lot of times that just fails. So really, it's all about sex and knowing the risks of sex. It's really sad to say a baby is a risk at this point, but we'll just say an unexpected development. If you want to fuck, being a baby mama gonna suck.
Well,
there.
They really are a revolving door of contradictions. So I'm sorry, this takes it a little bit off the field trail, but it is still part of the conversation. But just last week, I was watching this video where this gay couple was going on about how it was their right to indoctrinate their kids. And I'm like, first of all, you adopted those kids. So while they are your legal kids, they weren't yours to begin with. And two, if you're coming from the crowd that is encouraging abortion, so much so that you're like marching down the streets with a pussy hat, you're not going to have babies for adoption. Because the people who are watching you talk like that are going to think twice about giving you their kid. I don't know if they know this, but the people who are giving up their children for adoption, yeah, they can look into who the fuck you are.
Well, and even not only that, but if everybody aborted, then there wouldn't be a kid to adopt for the gays to
That's what I mean.
feel like they're equal. So even if the parent isn't going to look into you, at the same time, you're not going to be able to have that family anymore. So good luck to you, I guess.
Like,
you're literally the gays that made it, and you're shutting the door behind you so that no other gays can have families because you're just shutting the door behind you. Good job.
But like I said, it's a revolving door of contradictions, and honestly, they're going to make themselves miserable.
For future generations.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is Ezra Miller?
He was the Flash in the
He's
Justice League movies.
yeah, he's also special. in a wrong way.
Oh. Okay, so when it says Ezra Miller housing a mother and her 3 young children in armed farm compound, I'm assuming that's a bad thing.
Yes. He's also been accused of trying to groom.
Huh.
No,
and
not
bringing in
trying.
drugs.
Apparently, he succeeded.
Yeah. And he brought in drugs too. There's drugs involved.
This guy, he looks like a dick with ears. He
And
really
then you see him in
does.
his Flash costume, and he looks like he's wearing a condom.
Yeah, no shit. Like, why does it make the Flash a dick with ears?
But_butter donated $2 Canadian.
Uh-oh.
Cryptic owes me royalties.
Oh, I don't know why I'm so damn tired tonight. I am yawning like every 5 seconds, and I need it to stop. Stop yawning. I can read this Streamlabs from Let's Butter. I mean, you probably something really gross, and it's probably all sticky. Let's see. Butt butter. Cryptic owes me royalties. Pay up, dude. You've been living off those butt butter royalties. There, the stuff for the butt butter for so long that I think, wait, if butt butter deserves royalties, and that means butt butter is a person. So does that mean the butter that you made out of your butt's actually a person? I think my brain just pretzeled.
Yeah, I think so.
Has anybody ever been to like a pretzel stand? I've never actually had the of buying a hot pretzel. I heard they had it
Yeah.
down south. What do you eat with those?
What, with pretzels?
Yeah.
Usually beer.
Huh.
Stands I used to go to when I was a kid. You can get pretzels, but then you can get you had pretzels, but then it's either salted or unsalted. But back in the 80s, there used to be this outfit called Hot Sam's. Went and got a pretzel, and they dipped it in. You can get it dipped in cream cheese, cheddar cheese, chocolate, yada yada yada.
Sounds good. I don't know why. I was just thinking about hot pretzels, even though I'd never had hot pretzels before.
Oh.
You know, when I go to visit Skittles in South Carolina, I want him to take me to a pretzel stand. I want a pretzel.
Auntie Anne's.
Aren't yams just sweet potatoes?
Auntie Anne's is a pretzel joint in the U.S.
Oh, I thought it said anti-jams.
No, Auntie Anne's.
Huh, okay.
And the best thing about them, you can actually get a hot dog wrapped in a pretzel.
Yeah, I can see that. Sounds very
Yeah,
German.
You won't see it for long. Sorry.
I could see that, but then my brain went to some weird places because the only pretzels I've ever been acquainted with are the crispy things, you know, with all the salt, the little tiny crispy.
Yeah, she's talking about the ones in the bag. Not
Yeah.
yeah.
So then I thought of a hot dog going into one of those, and I was like, that's just wrong.
So they're kind of a
Hard
little bit
pretzels like that. Anything is down in the U.S., the hard pretzels like that, you can get them little nugget type things. about half the size of a chicken nugget, but they're filled with peanut butter.
Yeah, we get those too.
Oh, I tend not to, I tend not to eat I tend not to eat pretzels because I want beer.
Derailed like a mofo. Okay,
You think?
do not take credit for this. Your ass butter just made me think of hot pretzels. Okay, shut up. And Jen didn't stop me. So you know what? Shut up, Cryptic. No, I've never had a soft pretzel, only hard pretzels. And ew! Never mind. Wherever you were going with that, stop.
Certainly had them hard.
Considering my exes, you know that I have not had hard pretzels very often.
No, in your ex's case, it's just a pretzel stick.
Okay, when you said the pretzel stick, okay, my brain went to Lady Gaga and the disco stick, and I was just like, this is really gay.
That's all right. See, I was going for the pretzel stick, but the little pretzels are about the size of a matchstick.
They're really curvy. Pretzels are good. Oh my god, this stream has so been derailed like a mofo. I don't know how to get it back. Oh, I'll ask this question to the chat. What the fuck does the DOJ have to do with abortion rights? Biden's DOJ to use every tool to facilitate abortions after SCOTUS overturns Roe. The fuck stake does the DOJ have in this? Like, what part of justice is abortion in?
Probably something probably similar to probably something similar or akin to like why the FBI has been raiding all Donald Trump's ex-officials. Just saying.
So what, are they going to arrest Clarence Thomas now?
Probably.
Right?
Well, remember there was that campaign, leading up to this, talking about how much of a racist and a white supremacist he is. But then also they would turn around and say he's not black because he married a white woman.
I love this, a black guy that rises to the highest court in the land, and somehow you delegitimize him just because you don't like him. But Black Lives Matter.
Well, to be fair, you know who one of his biggest critics was when he was actually being confirmed as a judge, right? Biden. Yeah. You know what I know. I know that you know, and you know that I know what you know, and you know what I'm saying, and I say what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
Clarence Thomas is probably like, I just can't wait until you are not in this room.
Actually, the worst part is that whole speech about I know what I know what you're saying, and you know what I'm saying. Later on, they actually interviewed Thomas, and he said, I had no idea what the hell he was talking about.
Word salad is a politician's greatest skill.
Yep.
And I mean, everybody is just reading in unison. So I get that. I love that AOC is just like, this decision is illegitimate. And I'm like, AOC, I know that whenever a Republican gets into office, that's a credible thing to say and people believe you. But when it happens to be the Supreme Court, the rules are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's not a Republican that just got into office that you can go, this is not legitimate. This is the Supreme Court. You little girl that was plucked out of a bar.
Well, they're mad. They're mad because they're mainly mad because what didn't Trump get three? Didn't Trump get 3 nominations?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. You guys have a full court in the Supreme Court. But, yeah, that's basically kind of what it is. I'm not saying the Dems wouldn't have been upset about it because they've really kind of changed what an abortion was really kind of for, to begin with. But yeah, they're also kind of about, hey, don't take responsibility for anything. Let the government do that. But we will totally just charge the shit out of everybody else in the process, and that won't cause a problems with economics or anything. And there are kind of a lot more important things going on right now. Like, you know, people are kind of like hurting for money everywhere because everything's expensive. And you're like, can I feed my kids?
You know what else is funny is for some reason politicians seem to think that there's ways around everything. So Biden comes out and goes, "Oh my God, I vowed to ensure abortion." It's like, no, you can't because SCOTUS just ruled that you can't, and you're federal, so fuck off. And then there's Trudeau, "Oh, this is dark and horrific, and we're gonna do things around this," blah blah blah. And then
Well,
on
let's
top
be.
of that, you've got New
Let's.
York mayor and governor teaming up to create gun control workarounds after SCOTUS 2A victory.
Well, we predicted that already. But the thing is, hell, come on, Joe Biden's got he's definitely got a vested interest in keeping abortion federally legal. I mean, you know, we only know one stripper that Hunter knocked up.
True. This is very true.
All of a sudden, that list of 6 grandkids that he only acknowledges 5 of is going to turn into 12, 13.
I just like how little power the president has when it gets kicked back to the states.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how small you must feel that you're the president of the United States and there's not a goddamn thing you can do because the states got their power back.
The will of the people.
Well, the big thing is you got to realize one thing: the Supreme Court was never actually supposed to be this all-encompassing, this powerful. You know, they were not supposed to be the final word in anything and everything. But the problem is, the Democrats spent the last 50 years making it so all-encompassing, so powerful, so so strong, and so unchallengeable. That now that the pendulum is swinging back and the court is starting to do stuff they don't like. Well, sorry about your luck. You're gonna have to live with what you built.
Yeah. Load the gun and then you're surprised it's shooting you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm just going, woot, woot, woot. It goes back to the states. Welcome to the federalist system. You know, the system, the Constitution that you swear an oath to and somehow know nothing about.
Yeah, the federalist system that it was supposed to be the entire fucking time.
Yeah. Oh my God. DHS warns Catholic churches to prepare for Night of Rage. Where did they get these slogans? Like, why is it on the shoulders of the Catholic Church a SCOTUS ruling? Why? Just because they believe in the right to life means it's their fault?
No, but that's who they're gonna blame.
Because they can't get to the Supreme Court, but they can get to a church.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I'm willing to bet the Antifa types and the leftist types would actually set fire to a church that's right next to the White House. Oh, wait, they already did. Eh.
I don't get it. Campaign office for recall Gascon evacuated after receiving white powder, hate symbols in mail.
Sorry.
Boomer underscore
What?
societies donated
Oh.
$6 Canadian
Holy
45 cents. You are officially approved to be
who?
a boomer lol.
Boomer
Gascon.
societies. You're officially approved to be a boomer. Lol.
Oh God, no! I mean, no, I am not a boomer. I mean, some days I feel like a boomer, and sometimes I'm like a boomer, and sometimes technology just says like I'm a boomer. But okay, I have a really bad relationship with the word boomer. Jen, you don't understand. Okay, the other day, I was talking to this band, and I'm like, we have to start at 9 p.m. at the Rainbow Bistro. Is that going to be okay? And he's like, yeah, that's pretty standard par for the course of our life on a Saturday starting at 9 p.m. And I'm like, thinking to myself, 9 is when I sleep. It's under. But I am not a boomer. It's not my fault that I go to bed at normal hours and I love my sleep and I'm an early riser so that I don't waste daylight. I don't know where I was going with that. You derailed this.
Wow, rambling and trailing off. That's something a boomer would do.
But yeah, campaign office for recall Gascon.
He's a district attorney in Los Angeles.
Okay. Evacuated after receiving white powder and hate symbols in the mail. Why do I feel like this is going to be a hoax?
Green.
It does scream hoax.
Like, the white powder I can see, but like, then hate symbols on top of that? Like, you gotta be a little more specific because I'm sure some people think that me giving you the middle finger is a fucking hate symbol. But I do that quite frequently.
New York Post actually said what it was. There was curse words and swastikas written on it. The weird thing about that is, my question is, did the office who drew them, did the office person who drew them actually draw them correctly this time? Because that's usually a telltale is they draw them backwards.
I feel like why do we use swastikas? It's like, oh my god, it's hateful. I mean, if there was like a big like pair of testicles there, maybe that would be more offensive, or just a gigantic fucking middle finger and make it like all hairy and shit. That I think would be a lot more hateful than a fucking swastika at this point.
The thing is, just a pair of balls drawn on something at this point describes half the pickup trucks in the United States.
Pretty much. I mean, I imagine there's some places where you hate to park just because you know if you park there long enough, you probably will be driving away with a penis.
But you see my point. I mean, other than maybe not the testicles, maybe like some 99-year-old broad with naked, wrinkly, on the floor titties or something. I don't know. I feel like there's better symbols we could use than just the stereotypical fucking swastika.
That'd be funny. We'll start a trend of hate symbolism where we just go around drawing old bitty titties.
Wait,
It would absolutely be a hate symbol. We'd go for the granny titties, the ones that are kind of wrinkly and you're not sure of.
they're gonna be like big old bitties, but on the floor. You know, and
You gotta tie rope around the nipples just to hold them up a little bit, so they look perky, but they're not. They're just kind of saggy in the middle.
Obviously, you must be talking about one of them old biker chicks that when she was 20 years old, one had a spider tattooed on her tit. Now it looks like a daddy long legs.
You got Twitty on your titties, and later on it looks like Big Bird.
Hmm
Ozzy?
I wish I could say that was a joke. I wish I could say it was really that much of a joke, except for my cousin that had a unicorn tattooed, and it's a giraffe now. I wish I could say it was a damn joke.
Ozzy? Floor or lap? Floor or fucking lap? Pick one.
He's like, but in front of you is better because it's funny.
Nah, he's like, I'm gonna jump on you and then jump off, and then jump on you and then jump.
See,
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
gonna
part
jump
is, Jen, the fact that at this point also, this shit, those damn things bleed over time anyway. Hell, I got a tattoo on my arm. It was a dragon when it was put in. It was actually a lot more defined than it is now. Nowadays, it looks like a fucking lizard. It looks like a glorified lizard with wings. That's it.
That's what a dragon really is. So.
Trogdor, the Burninator.
Yeah, but it could be a fucking salamander for all it looks like.
Burninating the distance.
Burning it in our peoples.
Shit, what's a dragon now? It's running around selling people car insurance.
Trogdor was a man. He was a dragon man.
Oh, that stuff was great. I miss that part of my youth. Not necessarily childhood. Don't confuse the two.
Oh my god, the post millennial picked up on Biden's cheat sheet that he's been using, huh? Biden consults cheat sheet.
God, you have no idea how bad this one is.
Okay, it's like where he should sit and what he should do. Instructions on when he should sit and other basic things of what he should do because, well, I mean, he's not there anymore. He's just a houseplant.
I got neighbors outside. Don't mind them. They're just enjoying each other. I don't blame them. It's been raining off and on like the last 2 days, so for the 5 minutes of sun they have, I don't blame them.
Supreme Court leakers could face up to 10 years in prison under new Republican bill. You telling me that there was no set of consequences before this happened?
There are, but are they going to do it? Are they going to exercise them?
Probably not. If they haven't caught him now, they're not going to catch him.
They've caught them.
Oh, really? Who was
Make
it?
no mistake, they know. I don't know. They haven't announced who or anything like that, but make no mistake, they know who did it.
My bet is on Sotomayor's law clerk.
Well, the big problem is, like I said, they know. I mean, it's pretty certain they know who did it. The thing is, the judicial branch doesn't have any actual power. The best they can do is actually refer it to the executive branch, which actually has the policing power. And are they going to prosecute? Probably not.
Probably not. No, not until the Republicans get in, and even then, they probably won't do it because they don't want to rock the boat.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of your Republicans have done what a lot of our conservatives have done, and they're ex-liberals that have crossed the floor, or they were already kind of liberals, and they were just like, you know what, I bet you I could win better on this side, kind of like Trump did, but sooner. Uh,
The thing is, it's kind of wild. If you actually go back and look up old Donald Trump interviews, you'll actually notice something very interesting
what?
about him. Whether he'd be considered Democrat or Republican, that may have changed, but his positions have not.
No, that's true. I'd say a lot of his friends have changed more than necessarily his position, which can also be true. My brother's getting ice. Don't mind him, but also say hi because he's home and he's better.
Keith Olbermann.
Keith Olbermann.
Oh. Oh. Hi. We're glad you're feeling better. Yay.
Blind girl did.
Hello, blind girl.
Yeah, she was like, "Hi, glad you're feeling better."
Yes.
Well, preach
Yeah.
later.
So Keith Olbermann wants the Supreme Court to be disbanded following New York concealed carry ruling. If
Yeah,
we
now
can't-
now that they're not useful anymore.
right? Top Zelensky advisor under fire for calling LGBT people deviants. Zelensky is in President Zelensky? As in Ukraine guy?
Yep. Yeah, he likes to poke his fingers into everything. I noticed.
Well, Zelensky advisor
Well,
under
apparently
fire.
just not the same sex.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so one of Ukraine's president's advisors thinks LGBTs are deviants.
They
What part
are.
of that? They are, exactly. What part of that is incorrect?
They thought they were on the same side. That's kind of how they keep doing that a lot, don't they? Like, I'm gonna side with these people. Those people probably don't agree with you on a lot of things. The world is kind of like that.
Like I said from the very beginning, it is possible not to like either one of them.
Like, yeah, that's kind of how the world is. That's why I prefer that we don't interfere with stuff that we shouldn't. Like, I understand keeping peace. I do get that, and I agree with that to a certain extent, but don't get involved. You're just making it worse, or you're getting pulled into something that you don't understand, and then yeah, you will make it worse. Yeah.
I don't understand why they want them to agree. Like, it's not in your country. I'm sorry, you can't expect the whole world to just agree with you. I know you want to think that that's possible, but come on, there's a lot of people in the world.
I'd say majority of the world probably doesn't agree with me on like a shit ton of things. I accept that as fact. I try to do better so I can learn. But humanity and my reality is I can't. I'm not going to learn everything. I'll make do with finding as much things I enjoy about people and try to memorize that. That's been helpful.
I mean, anything that's ever needed to be said or what was important to be talked about, any controversial topic, you should assume that you're going to offend somebody before you even open your mouth, okay? Because it's a controversial topic for a reason. So to not offend somebody, maybe one-on-one you could handle that. What about 1 in 10? What about 1 in 100? What about 1 in 1,000? How are you gonna not offend anybody in 1 in 1,000? What are your chances of that? Zero to none, if you think about it. So, to want the rest of the world to just align with you, like, you're not the center of the universe. Uvalde school police chief said, "Tell them to fucking wait," as kids said. Ooh.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot
Oh,
coming out of there.
that shit's getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that Officer Tatum is really trying to cheer for his boys in the blue. And maybe he was that good officer, but not everybody is like that. Sometimes people fail, and that's why you got to call them out, because maybe they're not meant for the position they're in.
Well, considering he
Right.
lied about a bunch of shit,
Yeah.
now he's definitely not meant for that position.
Yeah.
He's lied.
Yeah. Like, no one group is going to have everyone be perfect, and he should know that. He should know that. You know, and that's why we do inquiries, so that you can fix the problem. You get him out, get somebody who actually is going to do their job. I'm not saying it's an easy job. It ain't. Very much isn't. But he has blood on his hands. No matter how much he tries to scrub, it's there.
Yep.
And it's not the fact and it's not just the fact that the police sat there and did nothing. The police actively prohibited and actively worked to keep other people from trying to stop it.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, so what do you think about the nicotine cap on cigarettes?
Do what now?
Not
You know
surprised.
how they're capping how much nicotine is allowed to be in cigarettes so they're not as addictive.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
They also orders Juul to stop selling vape products in the U.S.
Yeah, that ain't gonna go so well.
No.
But capping the amount of nicotine in it, believe it or not, all that's gonna do is make sales go up.
Well, and what I don't understand is if you limit the amount of nicotine in cigarettes, what about people that are already addicted to nicotine? What's that going to do to them? Is it not going
Make
to
'em
send
smoke.
people?
It's gonna make them smoke twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
And be very,
Which-
very fucking pissed off.
Which here's the thing. Much like gas, cigarettes would probably be less than $1 a pack if it weren't for all the taxes.
Oh, don't I know it? Native cigarettes, because they're not federally taxed, $45 a carton.
Mhm.
That's 3 packs of cigarettes in a store.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
At one point in time, I would make cigarettes, much like the same way Ranting Monkey does. And the thing is, the cost of that is less than a pack for you.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Ranting Monkey's candles.
Hmm. They really do cheat us out of a lot of things, don't they?
Well, it's this obsessive prohibition thing that they do. And it's like, I get it. Smoke's like many things, en masse, probably not the best thing for you. Can it clog a health system? Yeah, probably a little bit. You're never really gonna get rid of smokers.
Nope.
It's just
And making it cost more just means smokers are going to buy packs of smokes instead of the kids' food.
Problem is, it's going to be several. I mean, considering for the most part, cigarettes were actually recommended. I guess I want to say. You know, they're more or less recommended by the government for so long. I mean, for the longest time, big tobacco was, you know, the government was virtually their advertisers.
mm-hmm.
So we're only one, maybe two generations removed from the lowering of new smokers. It's going to take a few more generations.
I was legit watching commercials from the 70s and the 80s even,
hmm
where they were showing kids in the classroom smoking cigarettes. You know,
Yeah.
every company building, people were in and out with cigarettes. Common food places like McDonald's, people had cigarettes.
Yep.
I've still got old McDonald's ashtrays.
Yeah.
I remember as far as up to my teenagehood before they got rid of cigarettes in restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
there was the smoking section and the non-smoking section in the same fucking building.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the biggest sting was when they did it to the casinos. And to be fair, our natives capitalized on that because they were like, well, you can't make us do that. So if you want to smoke in our casinos, we'll just make a smoking section.
Yep. And I mean, among the native stories are that the reason why natives are all addicted to cigarettes is because the government got them addicted to it. Now, whether that abolishes their responsibility or not, questionable to me. But among natives, they were to say that they used tobacco for rituals, and then the Europeans showed us cigarettes and got us addicted to them. So then they were making money off of us. And I went, okay, you didn't have to play along though, did you? But
I think it's that and a couple of other things though. If you know something about Europeans, they've kind of been snorting and smoking things for a lot longer than before they crossed the ocean. But
Yep.
when you take tobacco and you realize that tobacco has other tendencies, like it doesn't just calm you down, it's also kind of eases your stomach. Like you probably do know this as somebody who understands being a little bit broke. But when you're hungry and you don't have a lot of food, a smoke, surprisingly enough, eases that. It's not a good thing. And if you don't realize that you're doing it, but yeah, I've noticed that like a lot of times if you're kind of hungry, a lot of poor people will smoke more.
Yeah, and that's why that government kind of goes, oh, you're addicted to this, so if we raise the prices, you're still going to pay for it, even though you're telling you this is ridiculous, you're going to do it. So more money to us, right in our pocket. And I'm like, yeah.
In the early thousands, the state of Maryland decided to jack up. They added it was like $1.50 a pack tax on the cigarettes. They said it was to encourage people to quit smoking. But then they sat and came up with all these grand and glorious plans they were going to do with the tax money. And then surprise, surprise, people actually started quitting smoking because of the $1.50 extra a pack. So now all of a sudden, they've got all these new programs trying to figure out where the hell they're going to come up with the money for it. So they raise taxes on everybody else.
Yep. Not even surprised. I used to always say, if you really want us all to quit for the healthcare, you would make nicotine replacement like pennies. Because I can tell you, obesity affects our healthcare system a lot more than smoking.
Mm-hmm. And
There are
that's
so many
gonna
other
that's gonna hit us a lot worse, BG. Like
Mhm.
not just us, but in the West in general. Because I hate to break it to the Brits, but they've gotten a little bit chubby too. It's not just North America. Australia too,
I,
actually. Australians, I mean, they're a little bit more buff than we are, but you do see a lot more of their kids being a little chubby around the bum. But that's gonna lead to a lot more health defects than they really think. It
it's all
is.
that corn syrup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Everybody wants to point to it's white sugar, it's sugar, it's sugar, it's sugar. Actually, it's the high fructose corn syrup.
It's also, unfortunately, I think a lot of our society still kind of relies on food for comfort. We're not relying on each other as much for comfort as we used to. Because, like I said, if you really look at our even relatively close past, we just weren't eating as much as we are. We were interacting with each other more. And as much as I love the internet, we had to, because we didn't have the internet. You had to get out and interact to get your social skills out and about, which means you were in big crowds. Like, you look at where we were back in the day, and yeah, we were interacting at the malls, you know, going to the beaches, going to the parks. We were talking to each other face to face. And I love the internet, but when you look back at it, you're like, yeah, there's a reason why we were more mentally healthy. Why we were less narcissistic. And we deal with things with our emotions way more than we used to. Even, I would say, even females were a little bit more even in the brain back 20 years ago than they are now. And I know there's men going, no, that's not true. But yeah, I think so. Because I'm sorry, women back in the day, yeah, we've been nurses having to deal with babies dying before too. You know what I'm saying, BG?
Well, and I mean, I think it's also just the wake of convenience, where everything is so convenient now that you barely have to leave where you live.
Yeah.
So we're not moving like we used to.
No, we're not. I'm not saying that to be like sad face. I'm just saying that is kind of our reality. Like, we have to find some even middle ground, or, you know, I don't know, the technology will change at some point, I'm sure. And I'll be too old for it, and then you will be calling me the boomer.
Canadians concerned for Americans who may lack abortion access. We are.
Yeah, maybe some small portion of Trudeau's followers, maybe some NDP people. Because they have this idea that in the US you can't just go to a blue state. Like, everybody in a red state is just too poor to go to a blue state. I'm like, fucker, you guys do more GoFundMes than anybody else. As if somebody wouldn't exploit that to go to a blue state to get an abortion and then come back stupidly rich. Probably not even pregnant in the first place.
Well, and I don't even know why women are crying at all, because, like, a lot of companies, like, are vowing to cover employee out of state abortion fees because it's within their best interest to do so.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll kill your baby for you. I mean, it costs us less money to kill your baby than for you to raise the damn thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it saves them from hiring someone for just 6 months. Depending on what state you're in, so.
You know, and the healthcare, the insurance they gotta pay into, it's cheaper for them to pay for an out-of-state abortion. So I don't know why anybody is worried about what's going to happen, because there's going to be ways to get around that are created instantly.
What's worse? What's probably worse, BG? And I don't know if this is something of a clip that somebody posted, But I think our prime minister might have just been like, "Hey, Americans, if you're worried about an abortion, you can come up here." I'm like, bro, you told people they couldn't come up here. Remember last time when I know this was a long time ago, but when Trump was elected, and you're like, "No, sorry, liberals, you're not allowed to just come up here. There's a process for coming up here." But if you need an abortion, apparently that's okay. Get bent.
Exactly. Like I don't understand. I mean, we can't cover the healthcare costs of all the immigrants from Syria.
Also,
Hey.
he would have to open up the border for those people to even cross over because they'd have to be vaccinated first.
Oh yeah, I mean they don't want all of the abortions, just the vaccinated people's abortions.
You know, I'm just saying that guy is an idiot. Like, he puts his own foot into his own mouth all the time. He has no position. I'm not for the vaccine shit either, by the way. I think that crap is stupid, and maybe this will motivate him to drop it finally, so he can finally have an excuse to get out of it. But I had to break it to him. But I'm looking forward to. It's either going to be on the 30th BG or the 1st, and I only say the 30th because James Topp, he is making a movement. Just because the media isn't covering him, we all have been. And he's coming up to your town. He is taking a sweet ass time, but he made it.
Oh, that's good.
I think BC is probably just the hardest one to get through, and I think he just took a long way. Like, I was looking at his map, I'm like, why the hell did you zigzag? There are roads that go straight through. But maybe the passing was just too difficult for a group or something, because, like, road size is a thing. It is actually a thing. But yeah, he's made it to your province, and I think he made it to the border first. Like, I think he went to the border stop before he's going up to Ottawa, which makes more sense. It's just whenever he does interviews, his shit comes through very stuttered. So I'm half predicting it. But he said that he's going to be there by the 30th. He has had a meeting already, and it looked like it went pretty well. At the very least, they showed respect to the guy, which was something I wanted to see. Because if they were disrespectful to him, given the fact that he's spent almost 40 years of his life with our military, even if they disagree with the guy, at least show respect to him, you know? But he's gonna go up there, and if they pull shit with him when he's gonna go to the monument, which he has every right to go to, it is there for him, not just him, but military in general. It's supposed to represent him. I hope the liberals are, or at least common sense enough to understand what gesture he's trying to make. You know, you don't have to agree with him. Absolutely don't. He stands for that right too.
Cryptic, are you picking on my hockey team again?
What's he saying?
He's saying, fuck the Sens too.
Yeah, he knows a lot about hockey. I bet you he does take the piss out of you with hockey a lot.
He really does.
Mm-hmm.
He's just such a douche. You know, Cryptic, you are stuck in a red state, so ha 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 ha. And your high taxes too. And Wilson, hi.
How's
Hi,
Wilson? How's Mr.
He's good.
Wilson?
He's being a dick.
Yeah.
He's on my desk
Well,
right now.
Well, he's a kitty. He's like, Mom, I'm here. Give me pets. And then get me a girlfriend. I've been asking you for months.
If only the vet would do something. Daryl, what's up? Yo! Homie.
Hi, Daryl. So I don't want to do this for I don't want to hurt feelings with this one, but I really want to test Wilson with this one. You know, it's normally something I would have said to Chloe back in the day, but I still think penis would work on him.
Penis. Penis.
Penis?
Penis.
Penis?
Yes.
Penis? Penis?
Penis.
Penis?
Don't ignore me, cat. Get over here. Come here for a minute. Fuck.
That'd be funny. Next time he tries to go after a pillow or something, him or Ozzy, try that. Just, I mean, if it gets you like the negative response, you got a donation.
Oh shit. Is it a penis?
Nope.
Cryptic donated $3 My team's is one game from the cup. The Sens
Cryptic
is on a 20th year rebuild.
donated $3 to say, my team is one game from the cup. Fuck your team. The Sens is on a 20th year rebuild. No, they just are expressing their love of golf. That's all.
You know what would be amazing is if somebody tried pulling a golf move on a hockey rink. Just pray it doesn't hit somebody in the audience. Like full on backswing too. Like Happy Gilmore style.
That would be great. Wilson, you want to play golf? How about hockey? Want to play hockey? Yeah? You want to be? You want to be a forward? A goalie? Huh? You're pretty catty. You could go defense. Yeah? You want to play defense? Yeah? Okay. How's your pick handling? Puck. How's your puck handling? Huh?
You know what? I'm just picturing your cat. You know, in front of an air hockey rink. You know, one of those little table things. And I could see him being the cat that fucks up your game. Like both of y'all's, but he might just pick your team because it's blue or green.
He'd probably fuck with my shit. He would. He'd probably just fuck up the game. He'd be like, "Oh, look, it's a puck. I'm just gonna fucking
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna
do that."
totally swat that into mom's net.
Exactly.
You know what? I don't know if they even sell those anymore, and if they did, they'd probably be retarded. But if you could rent one for when you and Dale are there, or even better, just go to one of those places like a Chuck E. Cheese, you know, like the one that you guys went to with Jack where he got lost, but you know, this time tie him to you.
Cosmic Adventure. I've already told Skittles that he is going to take him there, and Skittles asked what he ever did to deserve such punishment, and well, I didn't have an answer. I just decided that's what was happening next.
Listen, there's this little trick with kids that you gotta utilize, and I know Jack is special in this regard. Like he doesn't necessarily like things on him, but you gotta attach things he can't see. Therefore, he doesn't connect the dot. You know, so back in the day, they had certain shirts or certain pants where they had just enough of that little tag where you could put a little hook on it with a string so you could tie it to your belt.
Yeah, I would be okay with, you know, just hooking them to me. You know, I used to have little Velcro armbands.
He could get those off though.
Yeah, now he can. 'Cause he's a smart little shit.
But like something that kind of clips in on the back where, you know, it's going to be a little bit more effort to, you know, you're going to notice when he's doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it's pretty obvious when he's turning around like that, yeah, he's doing something. Even blind, you can hear that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh boy. Somebody else, please tell me you can imagine Jack running down the street and blind girl just laying on the ground behind him, being dragged along.
We'll get her some
Like
skates.
those old, like, well, like those old, I'm thinking those old slapstick comedy movies where there's a dog running down the street, someone just hanging onto the leash being drugged. Ah!
But you can hear her scream too. It's amazing. Jack, no!
Yeah. I
I'm
can't
take
see
to
it.
5. Stop.
I would just be like, I can't see, and yet I know the world is moving. I just don't know in which direction.
And the worst part is adults, much as we adult, seeing that would be laughing. I mean, we'd try to help you, but we'd be distracted with laughing.
You're not wrong. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, everybody. I cannot stop yawning.
Well, it's almost 8:30 your time.
Oh,
We're all kind
Christ.
of old nowadays, but I'm having fun with this.
I go to bed in 30 minutes. Woo.
Boomer.
Shut up! I am just responsible. I think. Maybe.
Well, I say that, but like Trucker, don't you? Well, do you have a long weekend off, or do you have to work too?
Wait, it's a long weekend this weekend?
No, I don't think it's for us. I heard somebody saying something about a long weekend. I don't know if that's us or you guys, or if I'm off by a week or something. I might be off by a week. That might be next week. Because of the 1st, and if you're American, the 4th.
That's
Yeah,
next week.
that is next week.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Hey, America. Happy July the 4th when it gets there. But you know what? I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one off, but I keep hoping that our guys, it might be not in your best interest, but if they could pull off that one time in history where we do enough fireworks from Ottawa that they can see it across the border, so we can finally be like, hey, America, did you see our fireworks? That'd be amazing. I know it's not going to happen, but it'd be funny.
It'd be funny. America might be like, holy shit, it's 1812 all over again.
Well, every year somebody from the U.S. is asking you that, right? Hey, did you see our fireworks from across the border? And you're like, I'm halfway up the... Okay, sure.
I've never actually been asked that question, so now I'm just, who do you hang out with, Jen?
I hang out with a lot of Americans, apparently, but I get asked that a lot. Like, hey, did you see our fireworks? And I'm like 3 hours away from the border, so no.
Oh no, but that time of year is also good for one thing. You get to play. Everybody gets to play their favorite game, where those fireworks or gunshots.
Yeah, that too. Did you hear the gunshots? No.
Fireworks and gunshots, yeah. That's more of an American game than a Canadian one, because it's rarely gunshots up here. Nobody has guns up here.
Yeah, pretty much. If they did, they'd be Nerf guns, and even then, people kinda... Yeah, Cryptic's giving me shit because July 4th is next week, but that's still, you're American. There's probably somebody that is already planning something out with a cake, and, like, everything is shaped like an American flag, and Star-Spangled Banner, and...
Are they
George
allowed
Washington.
to have the American flag around on the 4th of July still?
Do what now?
The American flag hasn't been outlawed yet, has it?
Nope.
Not yet. It's getting there.
Yeah. People would feel unsafe if you flew the American flag, and it's like, okay, well, if you feel unsafe, go to another country. I feel like if you don't like our flag, fuck you, go to another country.
The Cryptid says he has a shitload of ribs, and I'm just like, okay, listen, I don't know what you did to those ladies last week, but, now I do. Kidding.
Why do I feel like he didn't have a shitload of ribs, but he had a bunch of wings? Because you're always eating chicken wing, okay?
Yeah, but it's for his family. He always does something like a brisket or ribs or something. Yeah, he's a good family man, and I respect you. I'm still gonna make fun of you though, because you're my friend.
I was gonna say, I don't believe he actually eats with his family.
No, he gets some food, and then he takes his, and then he goes and eats in his home, in his room, with Loki, who he then taunts with treats for like at least 5 minutes before he lets them try them. Poor kiddo.
Yeah.
Poor kitty.
I'm surprised he hasn't let them taste Loki yet, just to see what he would taste like. Fattening him up and stuff. Welcome back, Chucker.
Just had to reset real quick.
Hmm. That's okay. Well, in light of it being 30 minutes before I go to bed, I'm gonna take my pills.
Yeah, we should probably maybe start to shut down the stream. I mean, I don't know about you, but when it's time for me to go to bed, I need some, like, it's not necessarily me time, but like the kind of time where my brain is like, okay, it's time to shut off. And you kind of are already halfway there. I can kind of tell. I don't know about you, Trucker, but she sounds sleepy.
I,
Hey,
I
you've
don't
been
know,
working
Under
all
normal
day. I bet you've been up since like something stupid working on your stuff, and I appreciate you because now I have a link because I didn't have that before, and for some reason I thought I did, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Discord or something playing games. So I'll write it
yeah,
down.
I was like, whoops. Whoops, I responded 30 minutes late. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I told Pat next time I stream with him, I'll share it then, just because like I wanted to at least describe what was going on. I don't know how much detail I put into it, but I was just like, she's trying to design a charity house for low functioning autism. You know, I said she's got a son, and you know the reality is that, like, you know, a lot of people don't live forever, so you know once they're gone, their kids are kind of out of luck, and she's looking for something that actually works for people who have kids like that, you know, because they deserve to have a life. And I told them that you'd kind of had a couple of fluffles with I'm not sure if it was PayPal, and I told them that, like, I wasn't sure if it was PayPal, but it had something to do
It
with
was
that.
PayPal. It was PayPal, the neurodiversity unit.
Yeah.
Called them I was a fraud.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, okay, that sucks. And actually, stupidly enough, they had tied my regular PayPal, like the one that I use for live streaming,
Mhm.
they had tied it to my Project Hummingbird one. So if they had succeeded, the PayPal that's showed in this chat would have been shut down too.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I can't prove that they're wrong, but you just take my word for it that I'm not a fraud. Here's my business number. And they're like, oh, you have a business number. Then you're totally not a fraud. Okay. And I'm like, wait, that's it? Really? That's all you needed to know that I wasn't making shit up? Okay, cool.
Well, that's good though, because that means that you're able to put that towards what is credit, you know, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to save this money for your credit for your charity.
Yep.
And that way they can see that, yes, you have made another account for it, that it's separate from your funds. Yes, you have to live, but that you know, we don't mind giving you funds here for that. That's what that's for. And I'm clear about that with people when I shill for you when I stream, that you are separating everything, that you're doing the business end. I just won't talk the business end because I'm not a business person, and I would absolutely not understand what the hell I was talking about. But if you give me a list of things to say, I will read it off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, like we're not a charity. We are a not-for-profit.
But I'll always say to an audience, I'm not going to bullshit about stuff I don't know, because that's just it. Like, it's for real life people. That's why I won't. You know, I am thinking about Jack when I'm talking, because that's why I hope things that you're setting up go the way that you're hoping they will, because that it makes the goal easier when you give yourself a real life person to think of.
Fair.
And not just him, it's even the kid at work. Like, you know, he's doing just, I wouldn't say he's doing just fine, but I think he's happy with what he's trying to do. And I could see somebody like Jack appreciating something like that. You know, and even if it wasn't Jack, even if it's not your kid, if it helps another 3 families with their kids, there you go. You did something.
I'm planting a tree so that future families can have shade. But we have to be careful. We're not a charity. We're a not-for-profit. And the only reason why I have to make a distinguishing difference is because charity means we don't pay taxes. Not-for-profit we do. And did you know that the government of Canada shoots down 70% of businesses that try to apply for charity status.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I didn't know that until now. Now I know.
I mean, I will say not for non-profit, but I mean it's still technically running on a little bit of a charity. But I will
It's
say non-profit
basically-
because they do know that makes a difference. Like you have to pay taxes.
Yeah, so it's like we aren't on the charity list, but we might as well be a freaking charity. We're just a not-for-profit.
Mhm.
And apparently there's a big difference, and people get all into these with those big differences, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But I will say we have 2 fundraisers coming up.
Mhm.
One at the Rainbow Bistro down in the downtown core on a Saturday night, which I'm like, wait, you're giving us a Saturday slot? Thank you. Like, thank you in summer, okay? And then we have a church that is lending us our parking lot so that we can have a car wash and barbecue. For the family, of course, because on July the 30th, we're going to the Rainbow Bistro, and that starts at 9 o'clock, and I doubt that's for all ages, seeing as that's a bar. So we are doing another one in a church parking lot for the rest of the family, so it's not just bars. And we're hoping to have a big grill and face paint and ice cream and all of the fun things that children want. And if not, then at least we get to wash cars for money. And I hope I can find some big-titted volunteers to help us with that. Just because big-breasted women and car washes go hand in hand, you know?
Especially in white t-shirts
And
and
that.
no bra. And no bra.
Okay, there has to be a broad church parking lot.
Fine, bikinis.
Yeah,
Church
I'd have to be
parking
able to
lot?
go there, and I can't help you with that. Flying is expensive.
It is. It is so expensive. Holy crap. But then after that, I was thinking a lot about what our first bit of donations was going to go to, and I have thought long and hard, and since I've had nobody to offer me any other ideas, I think it's going to be to write our first series of grants. Because if we won some government grants, that would be awesome. Because, you know, government grants mean closer to our goal. No, there's no woman cat for you. Shut up.
Penis.
Penis.
Hey, BG,
What?
I will wear the bikini for you car wash, and you know what? Fuck the sensible ass.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
Did you just join to say that?
Yep.
You're such an ass.
That would be amazing, though. You should do that.
I kind of want Cryptic in a song now, just because I feel like we'd get our first house really quickly if we just had Cryptic in a church parking lot with barely anything on.
Oh, that church would be so unhappy, but at the same time, it's like it's for a cause, it's for a cause, it's for a cause, it's for the children.
As Cryptic bends over, it's for the children. Everybody goes, oh, in unison. It's kind of like when my brother was wearing a sundress and he bent over to turn on his amp, and the whole crowd in unison just went, oh. Right all
All
at
right,
once.
so ladies and gentlemen, if you actually were to go over to the PayPal and actually throw a couple bucks there, a neat little goal. It's fairly short notice for this kind of thing, but a neat little goal would be to see if we can raise enough money to rent a dunk tank to sit Blind Girl on top of.
Oh, God.
And then it shall be live streamed.
but oh god, that would be so cold. Oh god, why? No, 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 no. I'm wide awake now. No, 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 no. How much are those cost? But no,
You
no.
know what would be even better is for every time she says no, $5 we add an ice cube to the pool.
Yeah, no.
Why? That would be what I would not survive that. I really wouldn't. I would hate all of you.
You know, there's this thing called inflation too, because I think I'm being too expensive. So it's $2 for an ice cube, but for $5 you get a tray.
Okay, that is no. Okay, no, because that is way too many ice cubes for $5.
And for $10, you get a bucket of ice water and access to the back of the dunk tank where she's sitting.
Yeah, okay, this is not an ALS thing. All right, I specifically didn't donate to ALS because I didn't want to die from freezing to death.
So AMSR or ASMR tends to be slow, soft sounds, usually calming kind of thing. But in a case like this, the screams coming from Blind Girl would be exquisite.
Oh god.
Come on, you sadistic sons of bitches. Let's go.
You know, it'd be really funny, and I'd feel really bad for you, BG. You know, I mean, I'm only saying this because I'm in good humor and because I'm trying to raise you money, but would be really funny is if the person pressing the button was Jack.
Oh god.
Because you know he would.
$20. Well, there's the thing. $2 for one ball, $5 for three balls, $10 to send Jack up to hit the button.
Yes.
See, the funny part about Jack would be he wouldn't go up to hit the button. What would happen is he would climb up to jump in. He would be like, oh, mommy's getting all wet. I want to do this. I want to dunk me, dump me, next, me. And I'm thinking, why couldn't we have just dunked you the whole time and just left poor me alone? I don't deserve such a cruel and unusual punishment. Welcome back, Chucker. As I think of just, I am hugging my sweater.
Thank you, Green Thunder.
What?
Thank you, Green Thunder.
Oh, I like the idea.
$169 on Amazon. Go Sports Splash Tower Water Dunk Game. It's basically a bucket of water that you stand underneath of.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Ah, Green, you're the best. Thank you for your contribution. Ah, poor BG.
And check it out. It's in your DMs.
Alrighty, let's take a look. Let's see what torment are we bringing forth to the BG.
See, I don't know if I should be proud of y'all or just son of a bitch.
Oh boy. Yeah, I see it.
Is it a big bucket?
Yeah, little. It's not even a big bucket. That's not even a big bucket. We'd have to. You know what would be even more amazing? And I feel like I am
What?
being mean now. Is if you just get Crypt to help you, or maybe Dale can help you with it. But yeah, you get a different bucket, something a little bit bigger. Because they could do that. They could reattach that so it's a little bit bigger. And here's the thing. I don't know how Jack is at throwing things, but all he has to do is throw it at the target, and then the bucket of water falls on mommy.
And you notice the ball is about as big as the target is.
It is. So it's like basically playing basketball with a target. Papa. Knowing Jack, he'd probably just hit it. Be like,
Yeah. He'd probably try to stand under it because he's cute like that. Whereas I would run from it. I would be like, son, why don't you stand there and I'll throw the ball? What could go wrong? cat.
That's kind of what, you know what? That's not actually a bad idea. I mean, yeah. But you already have a toy for Jack that's for swimming, don't you? I mean, you had one last year.
You mean the gator?
Yeah.
Now, you know, the thing is, at this point, I'm looking at the pictures of this thing set up.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how the pictures of it set up has everybody sitting in chairs. Somebody just lead blind girl to the chair, have her sit down in it, and not tell her what the chair is underneath of. Then start throwing balls. Just saying.
Not okay. That is not okay, sir. That is. You know what? As long as there's no ice cubes in that bucket, fine.
There won't be any after the buckets get turned over the first time or two.
Oh God. That's like I would freeze. I would. But that's actually a great idea. Just maybe not to dunk the blind girl.
You know what would be even, you know what would be fun too is if you made it a hit and miss game. Like she doesn't know what bucket she's gonna get. Some of them have ice water, some of them have normal tap water,
Jesus.
and some of them have
God.
nice warm water. So it's like
Well,
pleasant
if we
water.
go that route, you know, why don't we do? Some have water, some have ice water, some have water with, I don't know, a high concentration of something to make the water a little bit thicker and stickier.
Mhm.
And once that happens, hold on. But once that thicker and sticker, you know, once the liquid that is thicker and stickier gets dumped on her, then fill the bucket with flour.
Oh God, no! I am not getting tarred and feathered in a church parking lot. That is not
Oh, that would
happening.
be horrible. That's such a bad idea. It's like, and then the next bucket has eggs in it, and then the next bucket has feathers in it.
No, because I cannot stop myself from swearing all of the swears at
We're
that
not
point.
gonna take it that far. But the imagery
All
is
of the-
funny.
I cannot stop myself from just saying, "Oh, Jesus fucking Christ!" Like Jesus. No.
I feel like we
God.
were just.
Green Thunder
I would
Demighty
be
donated
just-
$6
there would
Canadian
be
dollars and
emails
45
sent around
cents.
about me. I
Fuck
would be
off,
condemned
Cryptic.
to
I
hell
don't want your
forever.
oysters.
I'm sure somebody will get a picture. Ugh. And like, ugh. And it'll be cold. Like even if the water isn't cold, at some point it's gonna be cold. Especially.
All
when-
right. We don't do the dunk tank. Fine. Jen,
Mm-hmm.
how cheap are pie plates up there?
Oh God.
Not very. You're better off
Pie
getting them
tins?
from a dollar store from the U.S.
I'm talking about the cheap aluminum disposable pie tins.
Uh-huh. I know.
Ah.
Those, couple cans of whipped cream, couple cans of shaving cream.
And- okay, at least let it be whipped cream so it's tastier. Because what if some of that gets in my mouth? Ew. Just ew.
Ah.
Because I'm gonna say ew just as somebody else throws it. I know this.
You know what? I'm such an evil cunt. You know, I wasn't necessarily
be.
gonna go with the pie idea, but you know what? The part of me that's gross is just like, you know what? Let's guess the condiment game. So let's take some whipped
Oh,
cream, mix it with some ketchup, mix it with some mustard, and she gets to guess
Oh,
which one
God.
is which.
No, I'm just saying. My mind just went completely dirty on something. Fill all the pie tins up with whipped cream, then a big old sign that says "Cream Pie, the Blind Girl."
Ew! This is a church parking lot. I will remind you.
Oh, yeah, she could have the whipped cream with the mayo. She could have the whipped cream with the relish. She could have the whipped cream with the. She can't have the whipped cream with the sriracha. We still have the shortage up here.
I will remind you, church and parking lot. So no, ew.
There's nothing naughty about it. It's just condiment
Cream labs.
guessing. I mean, oh my god, I could see myself mixing one with like.
Donation.
You're right.
Yes, Red Feather. Give him a pie in the puss.
Oh dear God.
Wait, no, that was green. That was
What's up?
Grease. Or that one.
Yeah, the one
Give
where
her a
I
pie in the
told
puss.
Cryptic basically no to the oysters. Yes.
Oh God. That. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Just. Oh my God.
What's it say?
Just. Oh my God. That's all. Oh, I gotta take my pills. Fuck. I forgot to do that.
Red is like in Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying that to make it more mysterious, you're gonna mix it with a little whipped cream first because we're putting these into pie containers so they're easier to throw. But you know, what was the other one I was thinking of though? The one that's German, the cabbage the cabbage shit. It's like mix that with whipped cream, put it in a pie container, throw it at BG.
Sauerkraut.
Yeah, sauerkraut. You know, some German would probably like that too. As gross as that is.
Wait! I just got it. I just got it. The blind girl at a pie throwing thing. Sign says cream pie. The blind girl.
Ew!
Okay, hold on. $5 per pie, right? If you buy, $5 per pie, or $30 for 8 pies, and when you do the 8 pies, bring them up on a little train. So you can say you're running a train on the blind girl.
Oh no. Oh no. We're not supposed to make it sexual. This is a church.
We did not do the house of God, and that would be one of them.
I would like to just point out that mine is still technically PG. Like, the only thing I'm doing is I'm mixing it with whipped cream so that it's easier to throw. I mean, I'm just saying, if I were to fill a whole pie container with mustard or ketchup, that seems a little bit... Yeah. Over time, I feel like we're gonna end up selling your t-shirt as an art project. You know, I'm just saying that seems kind of like a weird art project. We could do that too, though. Hey, there we go. We'll just put paint in it. We'll throw the pies at you, but the pie container will be full of paint. Like something like a tie-dye.
I mean, that would be kind of fun, but at the same time, I feel like that would stink.
Well, yeah. But it's kind of like really kind of autistic when you think about it. You're just standing there with the white t-shirt, and then kids can come up and throw a pie container at you full of like a tie-dye type style paint.
Yeah.
And then
oh my God.
And then you could sell them the t-shirt.
That would be kind of cool.
Postmodern art.
Yeah.
It would be messy, but cool.
It's artistic too. So like it does bring in that crowd a little bit because it's tasteful art. You know, even if it's weird, it's still considered tasteful art. Like an elephant making a painting, you get donations for stuff like that.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. All right, folks, here's where I apologize, but I actually have to get off here.
Yeah, well, we're running late, and I mean, she's already at the 9 o'clock hour, so that half-hour thing that she had, we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
And Cryptic says whipped cream on nipples are nice. I don't think she's allowed to do that on a church.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God. Whew.
Oh, that was fun.
I am so glad we cannot afford a dunk tank.
That thing was $185, the one with the bucket. So don't speak too fast, Peachy. You know who you hang out with.
True. Ow, Ozzy, don't fight me.
All right, have fun, guys.
Thank you, Trucker.
Later, Tucker.
Yeah, we should probably end the stream. It technically has been 2 hours, so we did pretty good, guys. I mean, for people who've been slackers the last week, and that's partially my fault. That's not entirely BG. My brother's home now, so he's in a better place a little bit. He still has his nurse coming over every day.
Good.
So that's good. And I have to remember to text my mom because they told me to let my mom know about a cream that he needs. So I had her write that down because it was like very, very medicinal sounding. I'm like, he's not gonna remember that.
Most people don't remember those things.
No, but
I don't
I'm
remember
going
those
shopping with my mom tomorrow, so she's like, oh yeah, don't forget to tell me about it. I do. I remember. Thank you, BG. You've helped me remember.
Yeah. I was gonna say I never remember the names of that shit, so don't look at me. Oh my god, Ozzy, what, buddy?
No, I
What?
remember the name. I wrote it down. It was just a matter of remembering to text my mom about it.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I meant to do that after Pat's stream, but then I got distracted by my tummy being like, "You're hungry, bitch." Batman was talking about food, and I was like, all of a sudden, I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, all right. And then you know what's worse is I didn't even finish what I was gonna eat because I burnt my sandwich. I made it grilled cheese, and I burnt one side just enough that I was like, oh, you're just not. No. I ate half of it,
That's-
but I was
that's
like,
sad.
scraping didn't help.
No, it never does.
Oh
Once
well.
you burn it, once you burn a grilled cheese, you're done.
Yep.
There's no fixing it.
Nope.
That's sad.
It was. It happens though. Honestly, it's quick in my house because that stove turns on real quick, and I gotta get used to a new stove. I'm right next to my sink too, so I'm only saying this before we leave just because I am talking about burnt toast and people might have this poor impression, but I've never lit my kitchen on fire. I'm just saying.
Okay, that makes one of us.
Yeah, well, for you had cords that were out of place. You had cords and stuff happen, but I'm just saying that like I've burnt toast, I've burnt noodles, I've burnt rice, but I've never had a scene where I had a flame creep up and I just stood there staring at it. At least you were trying to fix the problem. There was this lady on TikTok that was just literally like streaking at this fire, and she had a sink right next to her, and I was just like, turn off your stove. Use your sink. Even if you don't turn on the tap, use your sink.
Yep. Although I couldn't remember if like plastic fires, because I remembered that a grease fire, if you throw water on it, the flames get higher.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember if like a plastic fire was one that the flames would get higher or not. So I didn't even think to stand there and throw water on it.
Well, in the heat of the moment, like, I get why that would be a thing, but you're also... I'm not meaning to lean on this one, BG, but you're also vision impaired. Like, in times of crisis, even if you've memorized your kitchen, the fact that you can't be looking at it and being like, is that grease or is that plastic? That makes a difference. You have to rely on other things really quickly, like, does that smell like shit? Oh, that's plastic. Does it smell like kind of greasy? Because it does smell different. Like, I'm not blind, and even I remember that plastic burning kind of, you know. That's probably what scared you the most, is like, that does not smell like food burning.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an interesting experience confronting a stove fire. It's very you think you know what you're gonna do, and then you face it and you're like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Maybe it's because I've worked in kitchens for so long that yes, I have seen things flare up. That I've seen what professionals do. I have, you know, because it does happen. It's very quick, you know. Sometimes it's just something's bubbled, and poof, you get a little flume.
Ozzy, don't fight with Wilson.
I'm not
Not
saying
with-
anything to you though. Like I said, like your situation is very different. Like I know you're always gonna blame yourself a little bit, but different situation is different situation. This lady on TikTok, like I really think it was a lack of experience. Like she's never really watched her mom cook. Like maybe her mom was always ordering out or had somebody else do the cooking. Cause I question kids nowadays, you know? And I really
Yeah, that's-
do. Because like there was like a 10-year period where like everybody was watching cooking shows.
Yep.
Anyway, we keep saying we're gonna go, and I'm the one with the OBS, so I have the power.
You do. You have the power.
Sorry. I'm still mad about that HR bitch. Because she's from up here in the US. It's just like, look, we've got all these women. I'm like, well, you got a ton of them. You do. But that's one of ours. It's why I appreciate Libs of TikTok. Because I think she's starting a little Canadian thread. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, it's more scary than not. Ugh. Wilson, find a spot.
Find a girlfriend, Wilson. Mommy. Oh, wait.
Yeah, find a spot. Sit there. Okay?
All right. Well, I will do the outro, which is also our intro. And everybody, thank you for coming out. Thank you, Red. Thank you, Green. Thank you, Cryptic. Thank you, Trucker, who is gone, who is probably going to bed. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Scotty. If I got everybody, I think we had a few more people come in and out, but didn't say anything, which is normal.
Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Invisible Big Dro, who is with us in spirit.
Yeah, he's with us in spirit.
Uh,
Good old Cryptic. He's always with us in, I don't know, ways we don't, maybe we wish he wasn't, but that's Cryptic for you.
we always appreciate Cryptic.
Colorado Avalanches suck!
I think she just wanted to tell you that, Cryptic. You know, gotta get in that last word. And I'm gonna play the outro now, just so that she achieves that. Have a good one, guys.
Fuck the Sens. Fuck the Sens.